our enjoyment to tomorrow's game directly tied to whether or not Dillon Gabriel plays in that game.
I mean, the quarterback kerfuffle has been so much more frustrating than I could have foreseen simply because of the injuries, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like Baskin Phelps was talking the other day, is Joe Flacco, did he win the job or did he just not get injured? Like, did everybody else just bow out because of injuries? That's a totally fair conversation. And by the way, I think it's going to hurt Joe one way or the other what the truth is, but it still stinks for the enjoyment of this. I mean, the Browns already went into the quarterback kerfuffle with a wildly disingenuous stance, which is all four guys have a chance. And then reps started when we realized that was not true. 3 of the 4 guys had a decent chance, but the only real hope we got this year, and it's not about winning or losing, but to extend hope into the future, is seeing Dillon Gabriel or Shedeur Sanders and seeing them multiple times, seeing them in the preseason, seeing them, obviously, we've seen them in practice. Dillon, not so great. Shedeur, pretty great. And so to not have that in this game is just like the shredded chicken on top of this crap salad that has been the alleged 4-way quarterback battle.
We spent so much time, what was it, a month and a half ago, wondering how they're going to divvy up the reps. Like they could possibly give everyone enough opportunities to have a true 4-quarterback battle. And now we just had so many injuries, it doesn't even matter. Now, the interesting thing about this, though, if Dillon doesn't end up playing, in a way, it will protect the idea that Kevin Stefanski keeps telling us that Dillon is better than he is. Because like if Dillon plays and Dillon stinks, that's not great for Kevin Stefanski.
Yeah, but the problem is nobody's sorry, I shouldn't say nobody. We don't speak in absolutes here. Sometimes we do.
Sometimes we do.
Most people aren't buying when Kevin's like, man, he's really picking it up, really doing well.
You really won't be able to run from it if Dillon Gabriel stinks in these games, because there still are the slight amount of people, the few amount of people that are like Sean that just came on and joined us this hour and was like, well, he's a gamer. He's got when the lights go on, this is the type of guy that'll show up and play out in a big time way. And I think Stefanski, in a way, is hoping that that's the reality of it too. But if he goes out there and stinks up the joint, I mean, that narrative's just tossed out the window as well.
I'm gonna flip that on its ear for a second.
Yeah.
If we don't see Dillon Gabriel play in the preseason and play well, there's already a limited amount of buzz for Dillon, considering he will be the first quarterback off the bench when or if Joe Flacco gets benched, assuming Kenny Pickett isn't here. There's going to be no buzz for that. And I know you're going to say, buzz doesn't matter. Yeah, in mid-October, it's going to matter a hell of a lot to you. Mm-hmm. If the only guy you're intrigued of seeing because we saw him in the preseason was Shedeur Sanders. So I look at it the other way. I'm like, this is Dillon's chance to kind of get people excited about him.
For sure it is.
And by the way, to continue to put the idea in people's head. Look how quickly certain people flip-flopped on Shedeur Sanders in town. And like reporters.
It was one preseason game.
Reporters who that player might have felt like, this guy doesn't ever say anything nice about me, and the video might have gone viral. Literally the next Monday, that reporter was like, I think he looked really good. That's one preseason game.
I know. It doesn't take much. It really doesn't take much for a lot of fans. And in Dillon's case, if he sits out this game and can't play, we're just going to believe. I'm going to have to start to believe. Yes, there's an injury. I can understand that. But I'm going to have to start to believe that they know it's not going to go well.
Radu on Twitter saying, Gabe Witzerland. That does not work at all.
Witzerland?
Gabe Witzerland. So instead of
yeah, no.
Just Switzerland?
Yeah, no, that's not great.
That did not work out.
No.
I think it's just Gabe Witzerland. It just doesn't flow.
No.
Dill Witzerland. Ooh, this is going to be a lot like Dilder that one time. We are not swimming in those waters anymore, boys. All right. 216-474-0092. What if Dillon Gabriel doesn't play tomorrow? It really will rob me of the potential excitement and joy. I just want to see this kid play well. And I know it doesn't sound like that because he's just a little guy. But I know it doesn't sound like that. I want nothing more than people to be screaming at me on Monday and say, see, I told you. I'd love it if Kevin Stefanski called in on Monday and said, see, I told you.
It'd be fun.
About the widow fella.
Yeah.
But the point is, if I don't even get the chance at that,
right now, I'm just hoping we have something to watch that's as interesting as C-SPAN. So that's really where my enjoyment is.
I can't express to you how little I want to watch Tyler Huntley.
We don't need to. We don't need to.
I'll take preseason Pickett over this nonsense. Honestly, I'll take Deshaun on one of those the things when the guy's got a bum foot. It's like the little wheelie things.
Yeah. I know what you're
I'll
talking
take one of those. All right, in a red jersey. I'll take that over Tyler Huntley, who the only way that Tyler Huntley is going to be on the opening day roster is if you just go ahead and IR half the other dudes.
It'd be really funny if Huntley just cooked.
It would be.
The sad part about it is in that Friday night, the preseason game number 1, he actually did look pretty good.
Now, I will tell you.
It's still Tyler Huntley, so we know what it is, but he didn't look too bad.
Yeah, the problem is it's going to completely invalidate for some people Shedor's big game.
And that's the worry I think you have to have, right?
You're not rooting for Dillon to fail.
Well, this is where
you're kind of rooting for Tyler Huntley to look like booty cheeks.
This is where if you're Shedeur, this could be a really positive Saturday in your camp if Dillon goes out there and stinks up the joint.
This is our second Dillon Gabriel show this week.
And it felt like a lot of Dillon Gabriel.
How do you think I felt on Monday with the Shedeur thing?
Well, we should have been happy. That was a great Friday. That was a celebratory day in many ways.
So this was when I was on with our buddy Carrington Harrison, Kansas City Radio as a Sirius XM show as well. When I was on with him, he's like, man, you got to love this. And I'm like, okay, yes. Bountiful is the Shedeur conversation. But 4 straight days of Shedeur, no matter how much I enjoyed it, by the 4th day, given that he's not going to be the starter, I was a little ready to talk Dillon Gabriel on Tuesday. Now, today, I don't feel that way because we've had a couple different days. We've had a couple different things happen.
We had a couple days of breathing away and really getting the conversation away from Shedeur. That's kind of what that injury has done for a lot of people.
I will tell you, so maybe this is a different way to spin it forward. I will be more disappointed if I don't have to talk Dillon Gabriel on Monday because he didn't play than if I have to talk Dillon Gabriel on Monday and he didn't play great.
We're probably talking Dillon Gabriel regardless on Monday.
I mean, we'll be talking about, but what I mean is if the talk is Dillon didn't play, what now? That it would have been a defeating couple days for Browns fans between the Shedeur injury, the Isaiah Bond stuff, the Dillon stuff. That'd be pretty defeating.
I think Dillon knows he's got to get out there. But either way, Jeremy, I mean, that's a positive sign for us not wasting a Saturday trying to tell ourselves that Tyler Huntley is a reason to watch a football game.
So if he does play, what do you want to see?
I want to.
Is it just touchdowns? Can we all be honest? Is it just if they score touchdowns, we're going to be happy?
I don't think it's just touchdowns. You know what I want to see? Like realistically, I want to see the same thing I saw with Shedeur out of the first 3 or 4 series where he was just calm. He looked like a pro, and it was obvious to anybody watching the skill set that he had. And it didn't matter if he could have gone 0 for 15 in that game, and you would have left being like, okay, he looked the part in many ways. And I'd love to see that from Dillon.
The thing that got me hyped about Shedeur is even though there were the 2 bailout Barry Sanders, I forgot what he said, his spin move.
Hey, he turned one of those into the first down, actually. So that was
but that's the thing that they don't want
also
to
had
do.
Another, he had a, what was it, 11 or 12-yard gain in one of the runs?
Yep.
And it was like, I don't think he did that once at Colorado, by the way.
Well, and that's, I saw Shedeur make a couple plays. Yeah. Like so much of the knock on Shedeur is he's not a playmaker. He's a guy that's he's got to operate within your offense, get the ball out quickly, not short throws, but, not even conservative throws, but I don't want to bungle that. But my point is he's not going to win games single-handedly with his arms. Well, he did. I mean, yeah, they were not 40-yard throws, but the first touchdown was an absolute dot on the one sideline in the end zone.
Both touchdowns were absolute dots.
The second one I will continue to go to is the more impressive play. He was feeling pressure off the edge, and he was getting close. It was very close to a disastrous play for him. And he did the thing that I think smart quarterbacks do where he didn't panic. That's a big thing with Shedeur. Don't panic. Trust your protection. And he stepped up just slightly to avoid the protection, which was kind of over pursuing. And he delivered a ball in a really tight window. It's like, to me, I'd like to see that from Dillon. Because I'll be honest with you, like Shedeur, I think, can I get on board with the Brock Purdy express of play within the system. Don't try and do too much. Be with it, be the quarterback Kevin wants you to be, which is a little bit more simplified, right? With Dillon, that's not it. That's because that's not who Dillon's been.
Right.
I do want to see, it's not just enough to look functional to me, although that would be a step up from what we've seen in practice. And I'd like to see it just a couple throws where he's making plays with that arm. just like Shador did, even if it's in a truncated field.
I think sometimes I feel like some people go to the box score a little too heavily on this stuff, but it's like it really you'll know it. It'll look right to you in many ways. It will. Yeah, it's funny with the Shedeur. I like that you pointed out the running plays and some of the scrambling around, because it was always the joke with him in Colorado. It was like he clearly got his parents' DNA, but if you made me guess, it was his mom's DNA when it came to athleticism. That was always like the running joke, and I was always like, oh, his mom must be a hell of an athlete then. Like when you watch the type of plays that he was able to pull off, like that was, it's not Dion levels athleticism, but that was impressive.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting what you're saying there, because I've had this thought a couple times, have not been able to express it because we've just moved on or something else has happened. I think if you're grading any quarterback in the NFL are they as athletic as Dillon Sanders, you're probably not going to come away with too many that are.
You're going to miss a lot.
And so when that was always the reference point, that always felt like a weak point in the analysis of Shador. Like even I want to say Andrew Berry said this once too. Well, he's not his dad. No bleep. His dad was a corner.
Right.
His son is a quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
He's still pretty athletic, and even if he didn't run a lot in Colorado, you can see he can move around.
Now, the only problem is the idea that you can tell he doesn't look at that as a bug. He looks at it as a feature. And I would bet the Browns right now look at it as a bug. And I use the Myles Garrett audio that got leaked out when he's trying to figure out if he can do that move on Myles and how often that would work. But he doesn't think that's a negative thing. He really doesn't.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want him doing it 15 times a game. But, okay, here's another guy that kind of surprised us 2 years ago. I thought Joe Flacco was a statue. And then Joe came to us, and there was some he was able to move when the pass rush hit him.
Like he wasn't running for first downs or anything like that, but he extended plays in a very impressive way.
And so, like that, to me, that was like that's a feature that I think I didn't know he had at this point. Like with Shador, I don't want him doing 10, 15 times a game, but 5 plays, like with Baker. 5 plays a game.
Mm-hmm.
If you can, not 5 first downs a game, but if you can save a play 5 times a game with your legs, that's a huge game changer when the margins might not be as big because of the rest of the physical talent.
It was just funny because it looked like Shedeur got excited to get in those moments.
Yeah. Well, they're fun.
And you can tell he was having fun with it.
Like the on the plays, off schedule stuff that happens when a play breaks down, that is the closest thing you'll ever feel, in my estimation, to like playing when you were a kid.
Yeah, and that's the vibes, and I think he's expressed this in times in college when you watch him too. But like that is the vibes that he had in watching that preseason game. Like he looked like it was just a kid having a fun time.